Hey everyone, welcome to our latest episode of Going Native, and if you're watching this today is the Build Conference at Microsoft. Again, I'm Gabriel Ha, Steve Carroll, Dev Manager of the C++ team. Steve, for the people out there who don't know what Build is, including myself a couple months ago, what is Build?
Yeah, Build is our development conference. It's the big one that we do at irregular intervals, but it's where we release all of the cool stuff all at once to overwhelm you.
This is one of those super practical episodes. Immediately after you watch this video, you can go download the new RC version of VS 2015 and go try out Single-File IntelliSense, which we'll be talking about in a bit. But before we talk about that, what are the things that the Visual C++ team is talking about at Build?
Okay, so hopefully by now the agendas have been released. We've got several pre-recorded videos, including I think at least one starring Gabriel Ha.
Yeah.
And we've got a number of sessions actually at Build. One talk is on cross-platform C++. The other talk is about advances in code generation technology in our compilers. So I strongly encourage you to go check those out.
And the videos are going to be streaming live, so right after you watch this, go ahead and head over. We'll provide links in the description below.
Today we have two familiar faces. The first person we should reintroduce you to is Gabriel Ha.
Hello everyone, Gabriel Ha, Program Manager on the Visual C++ team, and I am the owner from a PM perspective of the things we'll be talking about.
We're also reintroducing from our last episode, Jon Torrell.
My name is Jon Torrell. I'm a developer on the Visual C++ IDE team, and this is my second channel on video.
Great. So today we're going to talk about making use of experiences in Visual Studio when you don't build inside Visual Studio. Gabriel, can you tell us a little bit about some of the scenarios that you can take advantage of when you are not building inside the IDE?
Yeah, so what we want to talk about today is using Visual Studio, sort of breaking down the walled garden of the Visual Studio product. So during your development cycle, when you're coding and you want to take advantage of certain tools in VS, you can pop right in, pop right out as you need. So we've talked in previous episodes, for example, about PDB project, where you can take advantage of VS by just having a PDB. We've talked about the debugger, where you can attach your exe, attach your project to the debugger if you just want to take advantage of the debugger functionality. And now with today's episode with Single-File IntelliSense, this is if you have neither of those things. If all you have is just a CPP file and some sources, you can take advantage of just that for browsing IntelliSense navigation.
Okay, awesome. Let's see a demo.
So how the feature works is you can go to File Explorer, and basically you'll double click on usually a CPP or a header file. You can also do the same thing by going inside Visual Studio and going to File, Open File. The feature is going to take some time to process the file, which includes the other sources and headers that are in the same directory as the file that you opened. But once the IntelliSense colorization kicks in like this, that's when you usually know that you're ready to go. So as you can see, I've got reference highlighting here. I can right-click here, perform a go to definition. It'll open that file for me. I'm going to go back to the CPP. If I start performing some edits here, you can see that I can get member lists. I've got the IntelliSense quick info. You're basically getting a lot of the benefits of having a Visual Studio project without having a project. Now, there are some limitations to the feature. First, you can't build and run in a single file. And because the feature is only initially designed to look at your current directory, if you have any header files here that are located in places other than your current directory, you won't get IntelliSense for those symbols. Now, there is something you can do to help the IntelliSense along. What you can do is you can open the IntelliSense menu under C++ Advanced, and what I'm using right here is a feature called Quick Launch. I activate it with Control-Q. I'm just going to type in IntelliSense, hit return, and it'll take me right there. So you can find the single-file IntelliSense features under this section. And by default, because of the potential for a lot of squiggles to show up, we disable squiggles. But if you want to turn them on, you can see what things your project is missing. Here, I'm going to switch to a simpler demo to showcase this functionality. So what I have here are two directories. One contains files pertinent to class A, one contains files pertinent to class B. Now what I have open here in Visual Studio is class A.cpp. You can see that it attempts to include class B.h, but because the only thing inside class A files is class A, Single-File IntelliSense doesn't know about class B at this time. To demonstrate this, you can see that I can get member lists show up for A, but if I try to do the same thing for B, nothing happens. So to help it out, what I'm going to do is right-click and go to Properties. And by including Class B files in the Include search path, I can help the feature find more information to provide more IntelliSense. And very quickly, you'll see that the squiggle disappeared from here, and if I type in B dot, I get the IntelliSense for Class B. Finally, just as a hint to confirm whether or not you're in Single-File IntelliSense mode or normal mode, usually under the nav bar, you'll see miscellaneous files instead of the normal project. And by the way, all the nav bar functionality works as you'd expect.
And we're back. That was a cool demo, guys. So, Ion, tell me a little bit about how this actually works under the covers.
So we have a machinery that essentially subscribes to shell events, like it knows when documents are open, closed, modified, renamed, things like that. And then when those things happen, we create a project for the first time, a temporary project on background, and then we add the files to it. And that way we initialize the IntelliSense engine, and we get IntelliSense and all of that in the editor.
Great. And Gabriel, what's next for this feature?
So one of the next things we want to do is to be able to build and run from just that single file. So again, no project needed for anything, just you have a main function and you can just run C++ as if it were a scripting language. And the second thing we want to do is improve the finding a missing include file for you, because currently it's a little bit of a tedious process and we want to make that more automatic for you guys to automate the process and make that a whole lot smoother.
So are there any particular areas we're looking for feedback that you're hoping customers will go and tell us?
So the main thing we want you guys to do is try out the feature, especially with code bases that you have that don't utilize VS projects. Bring those in to VS. Open a file in it, see what happens, and leave us feedback in the comments below, or feel free to email me at gaha@microsoft.com.
Great.
All right, folks, so that was Single-File IntelliSense. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, our call to action, as always, is as soon as you finish watching this, go and go download the RC, install it, kick the tires, tell us what you think. Comments below the video, type them in, or send mail to Gabriel or myself, GAHA@Microsoft, SCARROLL, 2 R's, 2 L's,
Yes.
at Microsoft, and tell us what you think.
Thank you.